Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Mental Health Monday. I'm Renee from Thrive Psychology, and I want to welcome you back to our series around relationship patterns that keep us stuck. Now, over the past several weeks, we've explored relationship patterns like love bombing, breadcrumbing, future faking, and what happens when conversations constantly get turned around on you. Now, today I'd like to explore something that often happens more quietly beneath the surface. Not just what these experiences do to our relationships, but what they do to our nervous system. Have you ever noticed yourself replaying conversations over and over, or thinking carefully about every text before you send it? Walking on eggshells because you're worried about how someone might react? Feeling anxious before seeing someone, even though you can't quite explain why? If so, your nervous system may be responding exactly as it was designed to. There's nothing wrong with you. That is what is supposed to happen. But let's talk about why. So, our nervous system has one primary job: to help keep us safe. When our relationships feel emotionally safe, our nervous system can relax. We can think clearly, we can be ourselves, we can disagree without fearing that the relationship will fall apart. But when relationships become unpredictable, or when affection is inconsistent, or when criticism appears without warning, or even if we never quite know which version of someone we're going to engage with, our nervous system becomes a little more aware and pays closer attention. So imagine driving through a neighborhood where children are playing. You're naturally more alert. You scan your surroundings more carefully. You don't do this because you're weak. You do it because your brain recognizes uncertainty and wants to protect you. And the same thing can happen in relationships. So if interactions feel emotionally unpredictable, your brain may become a little more vigilant. Now, you might begin monitoring another person's mood before saying something. You may carefully choose your words, or you might try to prevent conflict before it starts. And over time, this can feel really exhausting. Many people might describe it as walking on eggshells. And one of the reasons this happens is because our brains are remarkably good at learning patterns. Now, if certain behaviors have previously led to criticism, rejection, anger, or emotional distance, your brain naturally begins to anticipate these moments that might happen. Now, the attempt is to protect you. But the challenge is living in a constant state of anticipation can keep your nervous system feeling activated, even when conflict isn't happening. And then you may notice yourself overthinking conversations, or having difficulty relaxing, or trouble sleeping. Sometimes you might feel emotionally drained after spending time with someone, or you start to constantly second guess yourself. Now, here's something important. Experiencing these reactions doesn't automatically mean that someone is intentionally manipulating you. Relationships are more complex than that, but people have different communication styles, stress levels, attachment histories, and emotional regulation skills or emotional intelligence skills. Now, the goal isn't to diagnose someone else, but to kind of notice how repeated relationship experiences affect you. Healthy relationships don't mean that stress is eliminated altogether. Every relationship experiences misunderstandings and conflict. That's totally normal. But healthy relationships also include repair, apologies, curiosity, accountability, and moments that help your nervous system settle again. And without repair, then, sorry, phone call. Without repair, uncertainty tends to accumulate. Now, I want you to consider these three takeaways from everything I've just said. First of all, your nervous system isn't overreacting simply because you're feeling stressed in a relationship. It's responding to patterns, to information learned over time. And then, secondly, I want you to pay attention to how consistently your body feels before, during, and after interactions. Those experiences matter. And finally, healthy relationships should feel emotionally safe far more often than emotionally threatening. Not perfect and not conflict free, but safe enough that you don't have to feel like you're constantly protecting yourself. So, in this week's upcoming Thrive Thursday episode, I will share 5 practical strategies to help you calm your nervous system and reconnect with a sense of safety when relationships have you feeling emotionally exhausted. Until next time, take good care of yourself. I'll see you Thursday. You got this.